Good morning. It's Monday, 10th of December. I'm just having my second cup of coffee for the day with soy milk. I gave up dairy products a couple of years ago, actually, when I realised the main cause of my acid reflux was dairy products. Oh, yeah. Hey, Jess. Jessie's here. Hey, Jess. Jessie's doing well. Good girl, aren't you? So, tomorrow is the day, the big day in terms of one of the biggest days in terms of my lifetime, the UK Parliament. The Prime Minister Theresa May, she has basically to win this vote, which I don't think is going to happen. She hasn't got the numbers, and unless she has done some very, very audacious horse trading in the past few weeks, and offered new roads, new schools, new hospitals, lots of money to her members, this is gonna get defeated in Parliament. From there, where do we go? Well, she's got to resign, in my opinion. She's based her own prime ministerialship on delivering Brexit, and if it's defeated, she hasn't delivered, she has to resign. Pretty much the same way as Alex Salmond, who did the only decent thing I can recall him ever doing. In 2014, he resigned when the SNP lost the referendum. My mother's a Scottish family. My father is from England. Keep the United Kingdom. And then David Cameron, he did the honourable thing, following Alex Salmond's example in 2016, when he was defeated in a referendum, and which he instigated, and he supported the Remain side. Where do we go from there? Well, if she's defeated and if she resigns, which I think is possible, the Tories will have to find a new leader, and the new leader will have to call an election. There's no shadow about that. New election, and then probably a new referendum. And this is the way things are going, sadly. Now, I may sound like a Brexiteer. I'm not. I voted Remain. Now, this is what I perceive would be my last ever action as a UK electorate. I voted Remain. I'm not a die-hard supporter of the EU, but for me, from a pragmatic sense, the benefits outweigh the negatives. That taken, I don't live in the UK, so I don't see what's happening on the ground, so to speak. I think I was angry. I was angry when the vote was announced. I had dreams of me retiring to Tuscany as a writer, with no problems regards visa, travel, work. I say retire, obviously working. You know what I mean. So yeah, I was angry, but the Remain side haven't bathed themselves in any form of glory or any form of good old-fashioned British sportsmanship. They lost a democratic vote. Now, if the Remain side refused to accept the result, and we have another referendum, why should the Leave side accept the result of the second referendum if it goes against them? We can't keep having referenda ad infinitum. It's ridiculous. I mean, people have already lost faith in our political system. People are losing faith in the people who are supposed to govern us and supposed to act on our behalf. And if we keep going around having elections every 2 years, minority governments, coalition deals, referenda, the damage is going to be irreparable? Not exactly, I don't know. It's early, anyway. So, what do we do? Where do we go with this? I don't know. If there was another referendum now, I would probably still vote Remain, with a heavy heart, because I don't want to be put in the same bracket as the patronising Remoaners. You know, these people, with their blanket, wild accusations of racism poured against anyone who voted Leave. The way they've insulted the intelligence of anyone who voted Leave. Yes, the Leave side made mistakes. You know, they promised 300 billion or whatever it was for the NHS. Yeah, I knew that was bollocks. You know, most people knew that was bollocks. But a lot of people didn't really care. They voted in a way, anti-establishment way. The same way we're seeing these votes propping up all over the world. I have a lot of Brazilian students, and she's getting some fresh air. A lot of Brazilian students, and they've had an election, and they voted someone who was a bit, we say, is very, very to the right of Mr. Trump. People are voting and people are protesting. People are losing faith in the political system all across the world, and it doesn't help when you have the middle class left just patronising everything we do. And this is the case where we're at now. So, what does the future hold for the UK, and what does the future hold for the UK economy? Well, it's going to go down the toilet, isn't it? You know, the pound dropped a lot after the vote in 2016. It didn't really affect me because I've got no bloody money, never have, never will. The economy is going to get damaged. I think some large institutions will leave the City of London. I think more jobs will be created, because I think a lot of the this coffee's on cold, by the way. A lot of the expats in the EU have gone and will decide to leave. They want to be part of the EU. They don't want to live in some zombified satellite state of Europe, which it looks like it's going to be. I don't know. It's a bloody mess. It's a big, awful mess, and it's one that most people could see coming. Should David Cameron have went ahead with the referendum, he gets slated with that. Jesse, come here. Come here. I've just cleaned that bathroom floor. I don't want muddy paws on my bathroom floor, my girl. Thank you. So, should he have called the referendum? He's getting slated. He gets slated. You know, he's gone down. Apparently, he's the worst prime minister in history, which is, you know, bullshit. He did a lot for civil liberties, and he did a lot to eradicate the dependence on welfare that he inherited in the UK. But we'll leave it at that. You have to look at the election results leading up until the referendum. UKIP were growing. The percentage UKIP had was massive, and this was so. David Cameron had to make a decision. Do we allow UKIP, swivel-eyed loons that they are, to keep growing and growing? Now they've got that awful twat, what's his face, Robinson on board. So yes, Cameron made the right decision. He had to say, look, now is the time we make the decision. Are we in the EU? Are we not? Someone had to make the decision, and it was a bloody difficult decision. He made it, and he's getting slated for it. Well, okay. He thought, as did I, and many people, that no one in their right mind would be voting Leave. Once you look at, from a pragmatic sense, I've said that twice now, pragmatic, that's the word of the day. You just have to think the benefits outweigh the negatives. Free movement, free trade. Yeah, we never got the euro, which is good. I like the pound, so we never got the euro. You know, we just accept the rough with the smooth with regards to the European Union, but we didn't, and we're left in a bloody mess, and I don't have the answers. If I did, I wouldn't be sat on my own in an apartment in South Korea. I'd be working in politics somewhere, which I did for a time, in case you didn't know. So that's where we are. Bit of a rant. My coffee's cold. So today, the first of my belongings was sold, shipped. I had a smart trainer for my bike, indoor trainer. which for those of you who don't know, I do a lot of indoor cycling. So my smart trainer has gone. It's gone off to a chap in Seoul. So thank you for buying if you're watching. My TV will be sold this week. So my TV, I don't need it. I hardly ever use it actually. I haven't got time to sit and watch TV. That will be going. I'm in the process of dismantling my bike, and I have a bike box over there, which I managed to acquire. So shipping the bike and shipping like a 24 kilo Samsonite suitcase with clothes and some other stuff in is my next mission. I've never shipped anything international before, so it's going to be expensive, you know. Mr. Credit Card is going to get hammered yet again, but what can you do? So yeah, just over 3 weeks. The weather's turned cold here. It's 2 Celsius now. We had a very cold weekend, which was, you know, quite interesting. I never thought it would get that cold here. Well, I mean, we're close to the ocean, just about 40 minutes that way. But it was really cold actually. I had the heating on most of the night last night. I woke up absolutely freezing. But there we are. So that's it for Monday. Thanks for watching, and thank you for those kind comments and messages that I got. Ref, my other one, yeah, I know it was a kind of an emotional video. It wasn't a cry for help, it was just me stating the state of play. But there we go. So I'm gonna stick this in the microwave. I don't like cold coffee. And then we're gonna look again in some lunch for me and the dog. So have a great week. Speak to you soon.